And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the winners match. The winners match here of the 2025 GSL Season 1 Round of 12 Group B. We've had a relatively fast couple of matches already, I will say, with our initial best of threes with our first round matches, but now we're here to find out the first player to make it out of this group into the next round. Will it be our Terran? Will it be our Zerg? Will it be Maru or Rogue? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. And I'm really excited to see specifically how Maru is looking. We mentioned before what we expected coming into the TVP, how Maru, he did nothing but 2-base all in during the qualifiers, in specifically Terran versus Protoss as a matchup. We also saw Maru go down to Gumiho in a TVT, but something that we didn't see during the qualifiers was Maru's TvZ, right? What is that looking like at the moment after his break, after his hiatus? How strong is the Terran versus Zerg, and how does it compare to someone like Rogue? Let's go. We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Let's jump on in. Game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Likewise, Rogue also has a unique playstyle here. Of course, I'm sure you've all seen his performance in the previous star as Agora, going up against Clem and going into the late game, into Mass Overseer, into Mass Changeling. If he can get there, he will. He will embrace that style. We'll see if he's allowed to get there, though. As spawning in the right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player from South Korea representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. Our ZVT is upon us. Ready to jump on in. Now, in general, Maru, he is known for being less of an aggressive... Oh, hello. Pool first. Sorry, I was about to talk about Maru. Maru, he's known for being less of an aggressive player. When I think of the assertive Terran players out there, I think of Bjorn, I think of Clem, I think of Bunny as well. Maru, he's going CC first, by the way. Speaking of being greedy, speaking of being more macro-oriented, that is usually where Maru does thrive. So CC first out of Maru, meanwhile pool first out of Rogue. Now, at first glance, you might be thinking, oh, pool first, that means early lings, that means early aggression. Is Maru going to be punished? The answer is no. This is a gasless opener. It is a spawning pool first into a hatchery into delayed gases. Because this CC is so fast, by the time the first pair of lings get across the map, the CC is done. The CC is already complete. If this was a Rax expand, then these lings could delay. Then they could deny. But as it stands, I believe they should be too late. We'll see, as the CC is already halfway done. And there we go. Lings are moving out. Now, this was if it was only 2 lings. We committed into 6 lings, by the way. So these 6 lings, even if they fail to do anything to the CC, they could still get some damage done here. I mean, the Rax member is delayed, and there's nothing here covering the main base. So these lings, forget about the CC. What about the main base? What about the SCVs in said main? Let's go. Lings are moving out. Behind this Rogue double expanding, again, playing gasless, very Dark-esque. I appreciate it. Someone has to take up that mantle. As I mentioned, yeah, the CC does complete. So the CC does complete. If this was only 2 lings, nothing would be done, but because it's 6 lings, Rogue has potential. As there's only 1 Marine. We gotta send it. Only 1 Marine here on the high ground. And Rogue, he can try to shut that Marine down. There we go. Does drag it out into the open. Lings aiming for the surround. Oh! And the boys are being pulled. We'll see how well Maru can defend. Does kite back. Marine is safe. So far, 1 SCV goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, but only 2. Yeah, 2 SCV kills. This is some okay damage. Gets a Marine as well, and maybe can disrupt the CC. As a 3rd command center before that starport. The SCVs, they hold their own. And the Maru, he does defend, and he will clean this up. Whew, okay. So, we got some decent damage here. Rogue, he denied some mining time. He got 2 SCV kills and he got 1 Marine. What didn't happen, though, is that he did not delay the natural base, and likewise didn't really delay the 3rd either, as the 3rd is going to be getting up and running. We have a really interesting dynamic here, where Maru, he does, for the most part, get away with his opener. Rogue, on the flip side here, is going to have a late link speed. Remember, delayed gases, or it was a gas-less opener out of Rogue. From here, it usually leads into Roach production. Because gases are so late, we skip link speed and just go straight into roaches, and Rogue can play a roach heavy style here. So we'll keep an eye on Rogue. We'll see if he does decide to go into link speed at some point. So now the heli production has begun. Behind this, as we mentioned, yep, it's going to be roaches for Rogue. Again, when you open up gases, roaches are the go-to. As we are walling up and walling off. Maru won't be able to punish Rogue with this kind of opener. If Maru had gone for a 1-1-1, then a punish would be possible. I know that Clem is kind of renowned for that. Renowned for punishing these gaseous builds. Referring back to Cyril, of course. As Hellions, they bypass the Queens, they go straight for the middle line. Oh, and drones are getting roasted. Getting one, getting two drones so far. Catching a third. Barely not. Some okay damage here from Maru behind this, going to Stim, 1-1 upgrades, going into a zone 3 back setup. Settling in. And the big question moving forward here is how hard is Rogue going to commit to roaches, if at all? Are we looking to get into 1-1 upgrades and go into roach speed and go for a 3-base all-in? What it looks like, though, we're just droning. No upgrades yet from Rogue. There we go. Carapace is on the way. But only one Evo chamber. With only one Evo chamber, this could just be safety roaches into Lingbane. Like, we could see a link speed from here and a Bailey nest into a Lingbane transition. That is still viable here for Rogue. We'll keep an eye on him. Roach speed is on the way. Behind this, Maru is saturating. Getting his third base up and running. Building up towards 2-2 upgrades. Again, the upgrades here are going to be so fast for Maru. And Rogue, he's not droning up. Not yet. He is massing up roaches. I don't see link speed. And we'll see if he ever does make any more drones. As so far, roaches are building up. And Rogue may not stop. Meanwhile, Maru is still playing a little bit in the dark. He is aware of the tech. He's aware of the roaches. It's going to be on Maru to figure out how good is the saturation. You know, is the fourth base going to be saturated? Do we have any drones here? Helis, they do poke in, and there is nothing at the fourth. Nothing yet. We should be seeing a defensive setup here. Roach is moving out, and Rogue has not made a drone in a couple of minutes at this point. It's been quite some time. It just pulls on Carapace, mass Roach out of Rogue. Maru just now starting tank production. That's the first tank. Ooh, tank production is delayed. Behind this, he's 8-raxing. Maru, he's attempting an 8-rax. But again, he's not really set up for this. There's no bunkers. Like, he's not respecting this all-in. And Rogue is all-in. Like, Rogue, zero saturation at the fourth base. Just massive Roach Ravager is going for the all-in. No bunkers, no tanks, just Marine. And Rogue, he can knock down this third. He's going for the kill, going for the main army. Boys are being pulled. Rogue makes it through those SCVs. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 SCVs going to be going down. And again, Maru, he barely scouted. He saw the fourth base with his heli, but that's all he saw. Deep is going down. Maru, who loses control of the third. And because the tank count is so low, and because there's no bunkers, Rogue just keep pushing. He just go in. There's nothing here. Yeah, there's nothing to defend. Maru going for a desperation double drop across the map. Maru supply blocked. Stuck at 110 supply. And Rogue, he can knock down this wall. We can just send it. We can just send it, but the drop does distract. Now here comes the second tank. First one is gonna get piled down. Boys are being pulled or fighting within range of the second tank. Brutal fight there for Rogue at the same time. Back across the map, a base does go down. Oh, Rogue, he misses one of the piles. Does miss a pile. Finally does get the tank. But this was a messy fight here from Rogue. Again, he was distracted by the double drop. This double drop killed a base. It's not done. Going into the main. And again, Rogue, he was so close to breaking Rogue. He definitely could have. Took a little bit too long. Back at home, Rogue, he does defend. Mike West pushing forward. Rogue, this is going to be a messy fight. Forces out a split. Yeah, breaks through the Marines. Nice target firing at a Maru. Does target down those Ravagers. Gets a Roach as well. Tank has arrived. And Maru holds. Ooh, Maru, he does hold on. At the same time, 6 drone kills across the map. Rogue, at this point, we have to calm down. Calm down, Papi. Oh, still rallying in. Bleeding out Overlords. I don't blame Maru. Sorry, I don't blame Rogue. Rogue has 2 options here. Either back off, double expand and drone and defend, or just try to kill Maru. And Maru, he's so close to dying. So close to going down. But at the same time, we can see some mistakes here out of Rogue. Oh. Okay, we're good. Hopefully. Hopefully we're still okay. That's Rogue is threatening a push. Maru dropping into the main. Double drop here towards the northern base. The longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be to break Maru on 2 bases. At this point, it would be worth turning back. Yeah, now there's 2 tanks. Now there's 2 tanks. There's a turret just in case there's tunneling full of roaches. 3-3s on the way. At this point, it would be worth it here for Roach to just calm things down, focus on defenses. That he has Roaches in position. He's holding. And now is the time to drone. To drone up, get a second Evo chamber, tech up into Hive, get into Ling speed, into Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Now is the time to transition up. Oh my god, 4 medevac goes down. Massive pickup. Finally takes down the medevac. And Rogue finally backs off. Whew, okay. And again, Rogue, he's done well for himself. He doesn't quite kill Maru, but he has crippled him. He has crippled him, and now we just have to slow things down, calm down, tech up. We have the infestation bit on the way. That should be for Hive tech, or at least infestors. Rogue trying to keep up with the drop play. Just has to take a breath. Plus on melee's on the way, which is good, but the problem here, no link speed. And I don't think Rogue has noticed this, but he does need link speed as he's switching into Ling Bane, which is the correct thing to do. Out of Roach Ravager into Ling Bane, which is a more efficient army. But he's forgetting link speed. Maru claiming his 3rd. He's claiming his 3rd base, getting into 3-3 upgrades. Maru is looking to stabilize. And the question becomes, what is Rogue doing with this time? Again, this is a late transition, late tech switch here from Rogue. Likewise, pushing in. Boys are being pulled. Once again, collapsing on some of these tanks. The biles, they don't connect. This is a rough fight for Rogue. There's no reason to push into this. It's a 5 tanks. Yeah, Rogue, he takes a brutal fight. Bleeds out a lot of Roach Ravager. Now Maru, he has a chance. He can counterattack. Remember, he was Araxin to begin with. Maru on 34 SCVs, but he has a massive army. And now Rogue is in trouble. And now he finally starts Ling speed. Again, he forgot. Didn't notice. The bathing speed only just began. Again, this transition here from Rogue is late. He has to buy more time, and he's forced to engage. And piling away the army. Takes down 2 of the tanks. Takes down 2, takes down 3. Takes down 3 tanks, but still a brutal fight as Maru, he stims on in. He breaks through the Roach Ravager, gets up the Ravagers as well. Biles, they're not connecting. And Rogue is being broken. Rogue, he's being broken. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Rogue, he was in a dominating position. He was in a commanding position. But this transition was just so late. No shot. Boys are being pulled. And man with gun, it's all you need, Papi. It's all you need. Ay, ay, ay. Rogue, he got too nervous. He got too excited. 9 roaches on the way. He does get into one of those tanks. Nicely done. Tank goes down. I mean, does only lose 6 drones. Still maintains a better economy. Rogue just needs time. He needs time for reinforcements. We need more Roach Ravager. We need more army. What's the queen count looking like? 0 queens. Oh, 0 queens, 0 injects. Larva is limited. Another tank goes down. Oh, popping up. Saves one of the tanks. Doesn't save the other. One more tank gets saved. 9 drones go down. Maru does pull away. Economy still in favor of Rogue. Thankfully, does have this southern base. Does have the 4th. I do apologize for the DCs. I'll try to fix that after this game. Try to fix that. Geez, so many medevacs. Oh my god. Brutal positioning here. Mining is going to be denied. Rogue has to expand elsewhere. Does have to expand elsewhere. Files catch the first tank. One tank goes down. But again, mining is denied. Rogue, we have to take another base. As Rogue does fight out of range of the tank. Oh, but GG gets called. Maru, he breaks through. The comeback is real. And Maru takes game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. A very close game here. And again, Rogue, he was in a commanding position. He was looking solid in this game. But as we mentioned, he did stay on Rogue Ravager too long. It took him a long time to recognize that it was time to tech out. Actually, a couple of different things. One, he was too tentative when it came to his push. If he had been a little bit more aggressive and pushed in a little bit sooner, then he would have broken Maru 100%. We did point that out when Maru only had 1 tank. If you remember, Rogue, he waited until a second tank arrived. Like, Rogue, he was second guessing himself. Then after that, he did stay on Rogue Ravager too long. His switch into Ling Bane was so delayed, and that allowed Maru to take a better fight. To take a better engagement, and to recover. GG. GG, well played. Very close, very intense. Again, there's definitely a world out there where Rogue could have taken it, but GG, Maru does claim the first game. GG. So just trying to fix some things up as we get ready for game number 2. Whew. Get ready for game 2. What I will say as well, when it comes to Maru's play, is that he was very lax on scouting. The reason why the game was as close as it was is that Maru, he had no scouting whatsoever. The only form of scouting that Maru had was the one Hellion checking the 4th, which saw no saturation. But even then, he didn't do anything with that information either. Remember, he chose not to get bungers, chose not to get tanks. So he was in a, yeah, it was a really awkward position there for Maru, and I'm hoping that coming into game number 2 we see more scouting out of Maru. I'm sure he's going to be more tentative when it comes, or more attentive, I should say, when it comes to getting a read on what Rogue is up to, because that was dangerously close. And here we go, we're getting into game number 2. That game prone really damaged me. Oh no, not like this, not like this. As here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. I would love to see game 3 between these two players. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player going for a 2x Reaper, representing Team Vitality, leading the series 1-0. It is Maru. Here we go. Whew. As we are setting up and settling in. Now, this could technically turn into 3-Rax Reaper. True, we could see a 3rd Rax further back in the main, but regardless, a very aggressive build here from Maru. Looking to turn the tables here on Rogue, and we'll see how hard he commits this time. Let's go. We shall see. Meanwhile, a hatch pool opener out of Rogue. Bearing in mind, last game Rogue did go for a gasless opener. Looks like a similar story here as well. Going hatch pool into delayed gases. Oh boy. So there's a bit of a give and take here. First things first, Maru, where's the 2nd Rax? What's happening? I assume 2-Rax Reaper, it's a low ground setup. He's pulling a special here. He's going for the low ground Rax into factory. Marine first instead. Okay. You have my attention. For those that are curious, this is a build that Special does. Special, he's very fond of the racks into factory on the low ground. There's a bit of a give and take. The plus side is that you get a really early wall here at the natural to keep yourself safe, to be able to be relatively greedy, cut some corners, and build up on 2 bases. The downside is that if Rogue does go into roach base aggression, if he breaks the natural, that's where all the production is going to be. That's where the racks in the factory should be, and potentially the starport as well. So that is the downside here, is that your production is going to be exposed. So there is that give and take. As the Marines, they hunt down the first Overlord. And the Overlord is not going to make it to the pillar. Yeah, brutal loss there. Overlord does go down. Rogue is supply blocked. Behind this, getting his 3rd base, and it is gasless once again. So gasless opener. Now there is a very high chance that Rogue does play Roach from here to go into Roaches once again. And I would not be opposed to Roach play against this, but we'll see if he goes for another all-in. I'm not fond of the idea of going for a 3-base all-in 2 games in a row. That I'm not too fond of, but we'll see what Rogue embraces. Meanwhile, there's the add-on swaps. Again, you can just see how all the production, all the tech, all the add-ons are exposed. Starport is going to be in the main, thankfully. So Starport will be safe. The whole time I was like, what the actual... I mean, once again, like, this is where I should have said at the time, the soup does lie, right? It's like last game, Rogue was up like, what, 60, 70, 80 supply. That's a better example of like, yeah, the supply doesn't really say anything. Roach Ravager as a composition is just really inefficient. It does not scale well into a longer game. That's why if you're playing that style, you have to switch faster out of it into Ling Bane. Otherwise, you're stuck with like an inefficient army. It's strong early on, don't get me wrong, but as the game progresses, that's where it falls off. That's where the soup lies. Meanwhile, Hellions, they do try to rush past the Queens. Do we wall off? Oh my god, the Queens, they get there just in time. Oh my god. They get there just in time. They do wall off. They will do wall off. Hellions are denied. And Rogue, he does defend. Does defend, does hold. Ooh, denies the Hellion run by. Likewise, Maru going back in. He wants another wave of workers. Oh. Rotates over. Doesn't quite get any. And so far, Rogue, he does hold on. Does hold, does defend. Behind this time going into double Evo chambers, into double upgrades. A Liberator into the main. And damage is going to be done. Gets a drone. Just the one worker, one larva. And we'll see where this leads us. As we have a much later 3rd TC. Oh, right, I should have mentioned that. That is the delayed 3rd TC. Going 1-1-1 into a faster 3-1-1 setup. Late expansion in favor of earlier stim. Stim is already done. And this early move out here can get some damage done here. I'm a little bit concerned for Rogue. Where do we have to defend? 4 roaches. Uh-oh. Did he scout? No scout. No shot. Rogue, he never saw the main. He doesn't know the timing of the 3rd CC. Rogue is droning. Maru, he should soon be active. Medevacs have arrived. And thankfully, Rogue, he's already reaching 3-base saturation. So he should be okay. He should be making roaches from here. But Rogue has been quite greedy. If he gets away with it, it's fine. But now he's teching. He droned up to 3 bases. It took his gases, infestation bit, hydrogen, 4th base. Still, this is the army, by the way. 4 roaches. That's all there is. And he's making more drones. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. He's making more workers. Maru, he can deny the base. He's stimming in. Okay, 8 more roaches in production. Queens, they respond. Okay, Queens, they do respond. Rogue, he's getting away with so much here. Liberator, sorry, Hellions towards the right hand side. Drones are getting roasted. But no critical damage. Okay, Rogue is okay. 6 drone kills, that's fine. It's considering how greedy Rogue has been, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Drop into the main, can trade against some of these roaches. Rogue does deflect. And Maru's not really getting much done here. Thankfully for Rogue. There was potential. It was a little bit dicey, but Rogue, he does hold, does defend. Behind this, we do have Maru likewise getting to his own 5-rack setup. Sorry, I should say 8-rack setup. If you remember, last game, Maru did 8 racks initially. Oh, as a Hellion gets in, more drones getting roasted. Oh my god. Another 5, another 6 drones going down. This is now getting out of hand, and Maru is going for a 3-base all-in. Last game, Maru, he also went for a 3-base all-in as well. I did emphasize that early on, but he did 8 racks last game, and this time, once again, he's 8-racksing. So 2 games in a row, 3-base all-in out of Maru. Rogue is taking up to Lurkers. But again, this does feel quite greedy here. We'll see if he can get away with it. Maru, he still isn't committing. My apologies. He is getting up to 8 racks, that is true, but he's getting add-ons. So he's getting add-ons, he's getting a gas geyser. This gas geyser does tell us that Maru, he has the opportunity here to get a 4th CC and to build up into a long late game. Into a macro game. So Maru, he has the option of macro. Does have the option. It is just the one gas geyser though. With that, he's actually going to be incorporating a couple of marauders. This makes more sense. And he doesn't get the... Yeah, okay, it's 3-base all-in. It's still a 3-base all-in. The extra gas here is for extra tech labs and marauder production. Usually an 8 racks is without the gas geyser and with purely marine tank, but with the gas, now he can afford marauders, which makes sense when he's up against Roach Ravager. True. So this is an adaptation here to the 3-base all-in, to the 8 racks. With 1 extra gas, with marauder production. And that is going to be more ideal against the roaches, but the lurkers are popping out. And can Rogue hold? Can he buy time? As tanks they siege up, Rogue out of position, the base is going to go down. Takes down the expansion. And from here, Maru can just keep pushing in. Just keep moving forward. Oh, the tech is exposed. That's brutal. Hydra Den, infestation pit is all exposed. From here, Maru is still pushing forward. We can rotate or keep moving in. Now Maru, he's deep on creep. Rotates around, nice concave. Picking up more roaches, tanks encroaching upon those lurkers. Dust them in. Bold move here out of Maru, stimming into lurkers, but he does bring them down. Yeah, 3 lurkers do fall. The rest are on the high ground. Not quite in position. And Rogue, he's crumbling here. He's crumbling under the all-in. Nice abductions. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, 4. Takes down most of the tanks, but he sims in. He sims in. There's not enough here on the ground. And Maru, he will break through. GG gets called. And Maru, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to Group Stage 2. GG. GG, well played. Non-stop aggression out of Maru here tonight. Does qualify, does make it through. Fun fact, non-stop 2-base all-ins against Trigger and non-stop 3-base all-ins against Rogue. Let's go. So hyper aggression here out of Maru. He does break through. I should also give credit to Maru though when it comes to game 1, right? When it comes to game 1 was very intense. Despite the fact that Maru was going for the 8 racks, he was able to defend on 2 bases. He was also able to punish Rogue. Like Rogue, he did take a bad fight as well. And everything just kind of fell apart there for Rogue as Maru was able to break on through. He was hyper efficient with his army. Likewise here in game 2. It was a 3-base all-in, wasn't 8 racks, but he did adapt it, he did adjust it, considering he was up against roaches, to incorporate more marauders as well, so there was some finesse there, alongside breaking on through and breaking the siege line of lurkers. Alas, Rogue, he did not quite hit critical mass, and likewise, Rogue was also being very greedy as well, rushing into Hive, rushing into 4-base saturation, rushing into Hydra Lurker Viper. He didn't quite get there in time. He was working towards it, but the lurker count was very low, just because he was, again, being as greedy as he was. And still in the midst of teching. GG. GG, well played. With that, Maru, he will claim the series, and we have our next match up ahead of us here. Up next is going to be the elimination match. Up next will be a PvP between Trigger and Nightmare to determine the first player to be knocked out of the group. Now, if you're a fan of Rogue, don't you worry, don't fret. Rogue, he's still in the group. He is in the decider match, waiting for the winner of this PvP. Let's go.